Welcome to part 4 of Project Invacar, and in this one, well, the main aim is to see if I can get it driving, but first of all I would like to make sure the drivetrain works, and I need to sort the brakes out because I would quite like to be able to stop. So I think I'm going to see if I can get it running on axle stands, which it is at the moment because I've got the rear brakes off. I've just been adjusting up this brake, although really I've got to go through the full hydraulics, but the theory is that you see that's quite firm now. So maybe it's even working, but now I can test it because it's up in the air. Also need to investigate the exhaust, so let's take a quick look at that. Look at that, isn't that a work of art? If that doesn't fix it, nothing will. Only a temporary fix, he says. Right, I need to see a bit about rigging up a more permanent fuel supply. Right, just for now we're using this bottle of still water as a fuel tank. There's the pipe going in. Tied that to the chassis just to stop it wobbling anywhere, but the car shouldn't be moving, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. Tied it on with tape at the top, but left a little bit of space around because obviously air needs to get in as the petrol gets sucked out. But I think we're approaching time to actually run this baby. Alright, I've attached this bit of vacuum cleaner to try and encourage the fumes to actually get out of the garage. So I haven't run this car for a few days, so we'll see how we do. Put on the choke's on max. Give her a squirt of fuel. Might need to cheat a bit. Not a fan of easy start, to be honest, but it might help her fire up this time. Broken already. So that's the variable pulleys. We just got it ticking over at the moment. It sounds like one cylinder, but that's because one cylinder is blowing on the exhaust. But if I open the throttle, the clutch engages and the pulleys start turning. And if I accelerate hard, you can see that pulley change diameter, and that's what changes the gearing, what enables the wheels to go round. Oops, my drum just came off. Right, so the reason the brakes are proving quite so difficult to turn is because you're always turning the pulley drive system. The clutch has disengaged that from the engine, but if I turn the wheel, which is really difficult to do one-handed, you can see that we're trying to move all that. I was wondering why it was all so difficult, and that would appear to be the reason. Right, I think I need to get some brakes working because I can't go for a drive until I've got this sorted out. So now I'm imagining going for a drive. Right, it's Christmas Eve today, so I better say Merry Christmas, even though videos are entirely irrelevant of time. I have actually cleaned the parts in the car because I'm an idiot. Even more than that, I've fitted a windscreen wiper to it from a 2CV. It doesn't actually touch the screen, but it still looks better than having no wiper at all. Yes, I do worry about such things. But what's good is that under here we appear to have an exhaust which is in surprisingly good condition. So I think I'll be having that off, and I can then hopefully fit that to the other one, although I am experimenting. And what I'm experimenting with is JB's water weld, which to be honest I don't recommend you use on exhausts, but seeing as I've got some and there's an exhaust here with a hole in it, I thought I'd just give it a go. You can see I've added a 2p for a bit of strength, hopefully. Just have a feel of that. Oh yeah, that's now set rock hard. So with the 2p in place, I'm going to put another layer on that, and you know, even if it only lasts a few days, it'll help me hopefully try and get this car working. So urgent things to do on this engine. I need to give it a service. This is a very strange oil filter arrangement for one of these. Most of them have a spin-on filter. This has got a cartridge. So yeah, as I mentioned in the vlog recently, I've ordered some parts from Haflinger because the engine is very similar to that fitted to the Steyrpuck Haflinger little utility off-roader. I've still got to fit the top cowling back on so the fan actually blows through the cylinders. While we're in the engine bay, all this corroded tin work, and that's a remaining part of it, seems to be part of the engine, and I think that's probably to aid with cooling and to help with airflow and stop water getting up here. I'm not sure how much I care about that, to be honest. Maybe we'll see what that's like when we've actually got it back on the road, which is still a long way away. Now, one thing I can't decide is what to do about the hardtop, because Tuck doesn't have a rear window. This hardtop does have a rear window in very good condition, but the roof is in pretty good condition as well, and as it bolts on, it might be easier just to change the roof. There's just this one area of damage here, but I think that could be fairly easily sorted out, and this aluminium rail could be fairly easily fixed as well. But yes, we shall see what I finally do, because Tuck's body shell has some quite serious crack problems there and also quite bad there, but generally it's in pretty good condition, so maybe it's better to try and repair what I've got. I've never done glass fibre repairs before. There's a very subtle difference between a genuine Invacar like this one and the AC. You'll see that there seems to be no seal, certainly no visible seal, between this bolt-on hardtop and the main body on an Invacar, whereas an AC built Model 70 has this seal, which is rather more obvious. Not usually painted. I suspect this car has been repainted at some point, because I think that was originally just black. But it's getting rained on now, so I'm going to go and drink some tea instead. Right, I want to test my exhaust bodge, so I need to get that bolt, need that earth cable, need the other earth cable, and the main earth cable on the car itself. Oh, which way around does that go? That way around. Into my little lithium ion battery. Let's get that started. And it's down with a screwdriver. There we go. Off with the cardboard box. That's just to stop bits falling into the carburetor. This is the live test. I haven't started this car for a few days. So there we go, there's the ignition. Make sure the choke is set to maximum. Give it a bit of a squeeze on the throttle. Oh, almost. Oh, it's like fueling issue going on, I think. Try and pull some fresh in. There we go. Notice how smooth it is. Still got that rattling noise. got a bit less choke. Oh, it's blown again. Oh well, off we go. No, it just blew again. There's only one thing for it. I'm going to have to change the exhaust. Right, I've got the old exhaust off. There it is. Emptied out all sorts of crap that the mice have put in it. Look at all this. Bits of acorns and everything. So either that or very, very clever squirrels who have decided that burying stuff is too hard. I suspect mice. But you'd be a bit disappointed if I didn't try and run it without the exhaust, wouldn't you, really? I'd imagine so. Who needs an exhaust? Right, having got the exhaust off took, I'm now raiding the parts car because this exhaust seems half decent, and the biggest problem is this sleeve joint. If I just take you underneath the car, where is it? There we go. So this is the main exhaust pipe and that's the down pipe, and that goes into here, and getting these things off is always a bugger on every car I've ever had. It's not the best type of joint, to be honest, but I have some good tools. I have some proper penetrating oil. This is Plus Gas. Far better than just some generic WD-40 type thing. Proper penetrating oil is worth its weight in gold. I also have a very big hammer, because very often you have to shock these things free, and I just need to hope I can shock it free without taking the car off its somewhat dubious mountings. It should be fun. Jeepers, look at the state of this harvest. This is ridiculous. Ugh. Clearly mice like Invacar heater units. That's insane. And there we go. It took quite a lot of brutality with a hammer, but the exhaust is off. So yeah, remarkably this exhaust is in really good condition compared to the one that came off. I mean, ideally I'd like to paint it, but I'd have to paint it in high temperature paint, and I don't have any, and it's Boxing Day and I make a point of not going shopping on Boxing Day because I think people who work in shops should have the day off. But no perforation going on, so it should be good. It can always come off again. What I might do is put some copper slip on the pipes in the hope that they might come off again. That's my only slight concern. Right, I've got the exhaust in place, but I'm missing clamps. I'm going to have to buy clamps for these joints, but I'm going to give it a quick try anyway to see if it matters have improved. That sounds a bit better to me. I'm not going to run it too long, so I've still got the cowling off the top, so the cylinders aren't being cooled at the moment, but I'd say that's a vast improvement. And off. And open the window. Oh, there we go. That sounds a lot better. Lots of oil and fumes and muck burning off the exhaust now. I think I was starting to run out of petrol because the pipe only goes so far down in the bottle. So I think that's going to be the next stage, is to sort out a better fuel solution so we can think about going for a drive. And I'm afraid that brings this video to an end. So thank you to Hagerty for sponsoring this series of Project Invacar videos. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget you can leave comments below. I'm always happy to answer your questions, well, when I can keep up with them. And yeah, I shall see you again in a future video. Next time we're going to be servicing it and hopefully going for our first drive. We are getting so close. Anyway, farewell.